And this is what you must understand about the will of God and the will of man. Your will is very strong. And do you know, as a disciple, you have to die every day to give up your will in order to embrace the will of the Father. And that is why many people don't understand when you look at King Saul. King Saul was a good man. King Saul had good qualities. But the problem with King Saul and David was that King Saul, listen, when David slept with Bathsheba, he had a moment of weakness. But when Saul rebelled, he did opposite to the will of God for the people of God. Is somebody with me? Because God said to him, listen, go and kill everyone. But obviously, he did not kill everyone. He spared the king. Now, in those days, you must understand the background. Okay, the king was your pride. When you took a territory, you would not kill the king because you would want to humiliate the king. Okay, so that you also now, you show forth your greatness. So they would parade the king in the street naked. So all the children and all the women and everybody would see, and already there would be this element of greatness people will show towards their king. So God said to Saul, Saul, my will is you kill the king and all the sheep, the fatted ox, everything. I want you to slaughter it. Listen to what Saul decides. He says, listen, according to our tradition, we must march this man. Now, you see, your tradition can be right. But if it conflicts with the will of the Father, you are now entering into a realm of witchcraft. And that's why a lot of us don't understand. When things start happening in our lives, we can't go back and trace where things went wrong. Is somebody with me? We use the leverage of Scripture to try and persuade God to change his mind. And God doesn't work like that. And God said to Saul, Saul, listen, I told you to kill the king. You said your tradition says parade the king. And then the following day, you know what would happen? After he paraded the king and everybody now thinks he's a great leader, he would now kill the king with the offering. So this is what God said. I know if you continue with this route, I know that when you bring some sheep to be sacrificed, because you never had my will at heart, you will choose the best for you. So he took oxen with the understanding that when the people seem sacrificed to God, the people clap hands. But God in heaven is angry at Saul. That is why I'm saying, when people when they boosting you and clapping hands for you, what is God saying? Because the same thing that's making you look good. Saul was like, no, God, this is our tradition. This is how we do things. And God, I'm going to sacrifice and keep the best for me. Because the mind is that when the blessing comes in, they can choose what to keep. But what does God think by the time you take something that God doesn't want you to take?